What's up guys, David Moss Jr. here. In today's video, we are going to be finally talking about a pump that has been made for cold plunging. For so many years, all of us DIYers out there have been using pumps that we've just been experimenting with, hoping that they work really, really well in our cold plunges. And we've been lucky that so far a lot of them have worked out really well. But there's also been quite a few that have not. And unfortunately, they cost money, they break, they get damaged, and you have to replace them. The cool thing is now, we all have a pump we can count on for cold plunging. Or can we? In this video, we're gonna dive deep into the new cold plunge pumps made by Danner to determine if it's a great pump for cold plunging or not. Let's jump in. I think I'm one of the first people to actually get these, so I haven't unboxed them yet, I haven't used them yet, but I have used Danner pumps in the past and I'm a big fan of the Danner pump. It's just a solid pump. I've been using a lot of different pumps, and if you followed any of my DIYs in the past, you know that some of the pumps that I was recommending using, because that's what I was using, broke. And they broke quite often because the plastic pieces that they were made out of weren't very strong. I've been a huge fan of Danner since finding them. They make a very solid pump. So this is the Model 12 and this is the Model 18. Basically, this is the 1200 gallon per hour model and this is the 1800 gallon per hour model. I know that we've probably all used much lower models in the past. I would recommend that anything under a 1200 from this day forward, we don't use anymore. It puts a lot of pressure on the pumps, and if you ever have issues with your pumps and you have anything under a 1000 or 1200, that's probably why. They're not really made like we thought they were to move as much water as we need to move through our cold plunges. A couple things I just found out about Danner doing some research is they've been around for 90 years. They're actually right here in the United States of America in Long Island, New York, and if you call their number, you're gonna talk to an actual human. Try it, I did, and I talked to an actual human. And guess what, they were very helpful. All of their products are designed, engineered, and made here in the United States of America. Can't say that for every pump. They come with a 5-year warranty, and every pump is 100% inspected before it is put in a box and shipped. They want us to have good experiences, and so far, every Danner pump I've used has been a good experience. A few last things, and we're gonna actually open these boxes and dive in. One thing is they are certified under UL and ETL standards, which makes it safer for human use, which is good. Not all of them are. And they are extremely energy efficient. But we're gonna get into all that in a second. Let's go ahead and start with the 1200 gallon power pump, which I would recommend for most of the cold plunges. Here's why. All right, let's open this up and talk about it. It's my first time opening this box. So this is new and I think it's gonna be pretty useful. This is actually a vibration pad. It has 3M on the bottom, so you can literally figure out where you want to have your pump on your cold plunge setup, and then you can actually stick this to your pump so to prevent it from vibrating either on the ground or against your cold plunge. It's kind of nice, never seen that before. These things are stout. They definitely carry some weight. Product warranty information, blah, 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 cool. Well, this is it. This is the 1200 or the Model 12, 200 gallon per hour. What I do love about both of these is they both have 3/4 inch fittings on the front and on the top. This is also made out of an ABS material, meaning it's very, very durable. I hate when people buy my DIY cold plunge kits, and the reason I have a couple different pumps in there is because they tend to go out of stock really fast. Another one that I don't want to really talk about on this video, but the other one that people have used, this piece always seems to break, but not on the Danner. The Danner is a solid pump, and if you pull this out of the box and compare it to any of the other pumps, you're gonna notice that there's heavy weight. This thing is made to last, which I'm a fan of because I would hate for somebody to buy a product and it only lasts 3 months and then fail. They want this product to last as long as you want it to last. So it shows in the product workmanship. Now on the back side here is a 10-foot cord, which is nice to have that much room, meaning you don't have to have your cold plunge literally right next to a power outlet. You can have it 10 feet away from it. So having a 10-foot cord like this is very useful. And then to talk about this vibration pad. So basically, like, I have mine to where they sit on the ground. I don't really notice the vibration, but I have mine outside. Some people have these inside in their gym or in their garage. And I would say that having this vibration pad that you can adhere to the bottom here is just gonna do a great job preventing any of that movement from transitioning down onto the ground, making the rattling noise or something that could be kind of annoying. A few things, they do use a ceramic shaft and a magnetic impeller. What that means is there's a lot less moving parts inside here, so a lot less things that can actually go wrong. They do also sell replacement parts, which as you can see, there's just a few screws here. Very easy to replace a part inside here if something was to get damaged without having to replace this entire thing. Now the Model 12 sells for $136.99, but I will have links down in the description below You could shop on Amazon too. Like I'll have all those links down below so you can just find it for the cheapest price you want if it's something you decide you want to get. And I'm not sure how many do require oil, but this is a 100% oil-free machine. A couple of the specs that you probably do want to know is how efficient is it? It's a very efficient pump. This whole thing working at full capacity is going to pull 1.5 amps, which is practically nothing. And this is rated for a 150-gallon tub. Now let's say you're watching this and you're somebody who wants to do a DIY, but you don't really know how. Well, good news is you found my channel and I actually have quite a few videos. If you just look down on my channel, make sure that you subscribe and all that fun stuff. But if you look down there and look for my popular videos, most of my popular videos are my DIYs because I'm very pro save money and build the best system. I'm excited to actually have a pump in my hand that I can wholeheartedly recommend. I've been using Danner pumps for over a year now, and I'm a really, really big fan of just how durable they are. That's the thing. When you buy a pump, you want it to move water. That's it. But you also want it to move water quietly, and you want it to move water without stopping. And I've had a lot of pumps that have just failed on me. Not a Danner pump. So I'm super excited to have a Danner pump that is made for cold plunging, the first of its kind, that we can all be happy with when we purchase. Now, a couple things to note is this is where the water goes in. The front is where the water will go in. So basically what you'll do is you're gonna create whatever it is that you're gonna be using. This is what you're gonna typically be connecting it to. Not this whole setup, but this is kind of like a diagram of all the different things. You could connect it to a hose spigot, put it right onto a hose spigot, so you can literally just connect it right in there, right? That's a hose spigot. I like to use stainless steel male, threaded, 3/4 inch. That's what this is. So that will literally just screw right in there. Super simple. You can use plastic, MPT, whatever. And then some people also will use brass. Same thing, it'll just screw right in there. I like to show this because, you know, not all these parts are available on Amazon or at the hardware store. Sometimes you have to use different material, but all of these different materials will work with this thread system, which is really good. And then that's where you will have the water coming from your cold plunge going into here. A lot of times you're gonna have a filter, and you can use all sorts of different filters. You can use overbuilt 20 micron whole house filters if you really want to. I recommend saving the money and just using those little strainers. It just catches the debris from going in here. One of the things you do want to try to prevent to keep the life of your pump a lot longer is prevent hair from making its way in here. So you want to have some sort of a pre-filter that can just filter out hair. Hair and grass are the #1 killer of pumps, just so you know. If you've ever had a pump fail, it's probably because you had too much hair or grass make its way through whatever filter or your non-filter into your pump. It wraps around in there, causes issues, just like a vacuum cleaner or anything else. Hair just destroys things. And then this is gonna create that movement, and then the water's gonna shoot up through the top. Now, as you could tell, this is a female in the front, and this is a male in the top. Basically meaning you need something to go inside here to screw in, and this you need something for it to go into to screw in. So this is where you're gonna want to get maybe a barb fitting or something that's a 3/4 inch female thread to go on here, and then either have a barb, attach it to a tube to go right back in. This is where it gets simple. So a quick explanation of a DIY is typically you'll have your barrel here or whatever it is that you have your water in, then you'll have a connection that'll bring it to a filter. That filter will then have a connection that will bring it in here. This is where you're gonna connect it with something. And then you're gonna have a connection on the top, and that's going to have a tube bringing the water back into the tub, the barrel, or whatever it is that you have your water in, and just have your connection in there, or just have the tube draped in there. It's a super simple, not very complicated system, but having a solid pump is a massive part of the equation. You're also gonna want a really good chiller, and that's actually what I completely forgot. What the heck am I talking about? I'm sitting here drawing this whole diagram, I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something. No, the water goes from here, the pump, into a chiller. Let me just, I ruined that whole thing. Who am I? What the heck, right? Hopefully if you were watching, you're like, hold on, David, you're missing something here. Yes, I'm missing the biggest part, which is a chiller as well. I have a whole video where I go over my favorite chillers. There's a lot of chillers that keep coming out on the market. I am purchasing them to review. I'm not gonna review all of them, so if you have any suggestions for me, pop them down in the comments below. I'll look into them or reach out to me on Instagram. I have purchased, they're just on their way, a few of the newer, inexpensive chillers that everybody seems to be asking me if it's worth using or not, even though I have my recommendations because of my reasons. They don't fail. But we're gonna try it out and make sure it doesn't fail. Anyway, so yeah, water goes in through your filter, into your pump, out here into a chiller. That's what cools the water down, and then from there into your barrel or your tub or whatever it is. Without a chiller, the water will not cool down. And another quick pro tip, if you do not have a chiller and you use a system like this with a filter, these create a little bit of heat. I mean, think about it, it's moving water, right? So these create some heat. So if you do have your water in a barrel and you're using ice to cool it down, or it's cold outside, and you use a system like this just to keep water moving, to keep it clean, it's gonna create some heat and it might actually heat your water up. Just a little tip that not everybody knows. And we're about to get hit with a hurricane and it's raining and I haven't picked anything up because I wanted to make this video. Man. But this is the Model 12, let's talk about the Model 18. And now we've got the Model 18. Let's open this up. Once again, haven't opened any of these boxes up. This is the day. Super excited, except for the rain. Hopefully it goes away. It's just a hurricane, right? Vibration pad. This is gonna be a lot of a regurgitation of the same information. You know what's crazy? Is these pumps are actually like the exact same size. Is there any difference? Same height, same width. They look identical. How am I gonna tell them apart? Well, it says it on the back. Okay, cool. So the difference is inside. There's some difference inside and it basically pools more power, which causes it to move a little bit faster. So this is the 1800 gallon per hour pump. This is what you're gonna need. Everything else that I just mentioned is almost identical on the 1800 gallon per hour. The difference is it's gonna pull a little bit more power at 1.55 amps. Once again, next to nothing, just a little bit more than the 12. And this is gonna be rated for 225 gallon tubs. So if you have a bigger tub, a 2-person or a party plunge, this is gonna be the pump you're gonna want. For most everybody else, you're gonna want the 12. This is probably gonna be the #1 selling pump in America for cold plunges. As soon as this video hits, I can almost guarantee it. One, it's a quality pump. I'm excited to recommend this. And two, Danner has a 5-year warranty and they've been around for 90 years making pumps here in America, designing them, engineering them, and doing it right here in America using quality materials. I'm just glad that we finally have a pump like this. Now, one of the biggest differences, other than the fact that it moves more water, is the price. This one here, like I mentioned, is $136.99 for the 12, and the 18 is $196.99. Once again, I'll have links down in the description below for both of these so you can figure out which one it is that you want for your system. But here's the deal. If you're building a DIY cold plunge and you want a pump that you do not have to worry about it failing, I mean, things can go wrong, but the Danner pump has been a great pump for me. The other thing to note is both of these use exactly the same 3/4 inch male on the top, 3/4 inch female on the bottom. If that's stuff that doesn't like make sense to you, don't worry. I have DIY kits down in the description below as well, so you can figure out whatever tub you want to use. I recommend using an ice barrel. It's just a very easy system. It comes ready to hook this stuff up. I know they have their own chillers and everybody has their own stuff now, but if you want to save some money and do a DIY, I have DIY kits down in the description below. I don't sell them, I just made them to make it easy. You can get everything on Amazon, you can shop it, you can go wherever you want, get whatever you want. But I just try to make things easy. I know that if I built something and I've used it for years and it's worked really, really well and it's been easy to maintain, that maybe other people would appreciate that as well. And that's why I have those kits down in the description below. But Danner, I think you guys make a great product. I've been really, really stoked on the products you've had out. And now that you've just made them a little bit better and they're made specifically for cold plunging, that's just the cherry on top. Well done, my friends. And then the last bit of information, these are primarily made to be used inline, but you can use them submersible as well. So whatever it is, whichever way you want to go, is definitely up to you. I would recommend using them inline. I know I have videos in the past where I've done it all submersible and that was great. But now with like new technology and the way these barrels and all these new things come, I mean, doing it inline is probably the right way to go. It keeps everything out of the tub, and then you can just get in the tub and enjoy it. You don't have to worry about electrical shock and all that weird stuff. Definitely appreciate Danner for sending these. They did send these to me. They didn't ask me to say anything specific on this video, but they did send these to me. They wanted me to be the first to see the cold plunge specific magnetic drive water pump, which I'm stoked on. Like, I'm super stoked on. So now I'm gonna go have to make myself 2 new DIYs. What should I do? List it down in the comments below if you have a great idea for me, because I have some good ideas, but I'd love to hear from you. And also, if you have any questions at all, put them down in the comments below. Reach out to me on Instagram. It's @dmossjr. I'll have it pop up right here on the screen. It'll also be linked down in the description below under the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, all that fun stuff. And if you want to get yourself a DIY kit, one of these Danner pumps, or any of the other products that I talk about on most of my videos, I'll have those links down in the description below with discount codes. So feel free to use those. I'll see you guys on the next video. Hope you have a great day, and God bless. And hey, before you go, if this was a cool video for you and you're interested in what kind of chiller you should check out, I think you'll want to check out this video. It's a video I did about a year ago, but it's still very relevant today. They're still two of my top choice chillers. So check this video out right here so you can figure out what's the best chiller for your DIY cold plunge.